All right, we're going to get this shindig started. So I'm like super excited about this call. I have learned a lot kind of preparing and taking the time to listen to some other coaches and their advice and everything. So I'm way excited about it. So we'll see how it goes. But a couple things before we dive right into it is we have a few announcements. This has been a really good month. There's been a lot of growth for a lot of you guys. So keep it up. We say this all the time, but I am dead serious, guys. You can hit Success Club in a day. In fact, honestly, I hit it the first day of the month this month. Like I hit Success Club 10 the first day. So if I can do it one day, like why can't you do it the last day of the month? It is totally like in your reach. It's just how bad you want it. And we're going to talk about that tonight. That exact same point. So don't stop inviting. You know, if you invite 100 people, only five of those people have to say yes. That's it. Like that's literally as easy as it gets. If you invite 100 people, only 5 of those people have to say yes for you to hit Success Club this month or next month in October. So realize that. A couple things too that I just was thinking about. Cours de Force, October 3rd, they're doing a sneak peek on Beachbody On Demand. And I was just telling my PS coaches, like, I don't care if you're like 9 months pregnant and about ready to pop. Watch the clip. If you can't do it physically right now, watch it so you know what to say to your coaches. You know, I'll talk about this later in the team call, but Beachbody is giving us an amazing opportunity with this program. They are only allowing for an entire month for this program to be bought through a coach. The Beachbody is not even going to be selling it. They can't go to beachbody.com and purchase Cours de Force. So get familiar with this program. I am like super pumped. I was telling my coaches about this. Like, you all know Country Heat is not my thing. Obviously, I am one of few because it was Beachbody's most like record-breaking like workout ever. And so it wasn't for me, but obviously I am not the normal, right? Like it works tons. And I have clients seeing incredible results right now, like just 30 days into this. And so realize that and take advantage, watch it. If you do nothing else, sit and watch it instead of watching Bachelor. Like do what you got to do, you know? But we're going to talk about that. So anyways, let's just go ahead and dive in. I have a little clip I want to show you. You know, I was going to introduce myself, but you guys hopefully know me by now. I am Ashley Watts. I've been coaching for almost 3 years. January will be my 3-year mark. So, Breezy's my coach. So, but we're just going to dive right in. And I want you guys to look at this video and take note. I hope you brought a pen and pencil because if not, you're an employee and not an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about the difference here in a little bit. But what sticks out to you when you watch is the 4-minute clip. How do you compare it to your life? And how does this little clip compare to your business? So I'm just going to dive in. Did I share my screen? No. And that would probably help. So here we go. Let me turn this up.
You had a vision to build something that they've never seen before. But they gave it one look and called it insanity. You worked hour after hour for little reward. They watched from a distance and deemed it irrational. You simplified your life until it consisted of only your goal. But amidst convoluted objectives and routines, they declared it a tragedy. You failed and you failed, but you would not give in. And entertained by this struggle, they called you stubborn. through it all, you never lost faith. They sat back and called it delusional. And then something happened. You succeeded. You succeeded like no one else before. And when you shared your result, they called it genius. When you told your story, they admired the persistence. When you uncovered your knowledge, your learning, your expertise, they asked for advice. See, you provided a blueprint, yet few people followed. Now they call you gifted, lucky, and you shake your head because as you made that climb, something became very obvious to you. This word, insanity, defined as extreme foolishness or irrationality, this is what got you to where you are today. And on the surface, that first step, it was insanity. You left what was known, you questioned, doubted, you looked inexperienced. You fell on your face, and hour after hour, you prayed that it was not in vain, and some days it felt like it was. But every single day, you left something behind. The things that you'd outgrown, the things that would have surrounded your every move had you stayed in that spot, had you been intimidated by the depths of what they call insanity. But you didn't. You traded them for a chance to get what matters most. And now as you gain perspective, you see what was insane yesterday is now everyday reality. It's what you do without giving it a second thought, and you want more. Just the taste means you want more. To see what's out there, to see how far you can push. That is life. And as you prepare to continue down the road ahead of you, the peaks, the valleys, the twists, the turns, the ups and the downs, you realize that the only thing in this world that qualifies as insanity is being unwilling to take that next step. The fear of standing out, of being different, of living a life that was meant for you, that you deserve. Because to disregard that opportunity, oh, the insanity.
Okay, so let's chat for a second. And I'll just start just to get us going. But I'm trying to get back to my slides here. One of the things that I loved, so everyone is at a different part of their journey right now. Some are brand new coaches. This might be your very first team call, okay? Some of you guys started today with your workout. Like everyone is at a different level. Some of you guys have been coaching. Some of you guys have seen the success. Some of you guys have rode the roller coaster that you feel the failures over and over and over again, and you're still trying to figure it out. So I loved that when this is exactly how I felt when I started working out. When I took the first step, it was insanity. When I took the step to purchase a program, I thought I was insane. When I could not make it through the first round of Turbo Fire or Turbo Jam, which was even easier, I cried because I was so winded that I couldn't finish it. Now I am doing P90X3 and I'm able to do push-ups. Like, what? And so I never thought that this is possible. And I also loved when he said, where was it? Oh, people thought you're delusional. How many of you guys, everyone around you said you joined an MLM? Oh, how many of you said that yourself? I couldn't believe I did it myself. People called you delusional. And then I'm at a point in my business where people are watching. They've turned their heads and they're saying, what? After I got my results from Turbo Jam, people turned their head and they said, what? How? And now that I'm making a decent income, people are turning their heads and saying, how? They think you're a genius. They think you're lucky, but it's not luck. And those of you guys who have worked out to see those results know it hasn't been luck. It's taken hard work to get there. So tell me some of the things you took before we get going and dive into this. And I'm super excited, so you're going to hear my voice just out of control right now. So I apologize, but tell me, unmute yourself, hop on, and tell me what you got. What are some things you noticed?
I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I liked how he said that when you realize that the only insanity is to disregard the opportunity, like to not do it, to not pursue what your, more or less what your dreams are, and to just not do it. Like that's when you realize what real insanity is.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you. Anyone else?
I liked how he said when you looked inexperienced and you fell on your face, you just kept going, because seriously, all the time, I just feel like I can't coach. Like I'm not good at this or whatever. So I liked that.
Agree. And I still, guys, you guys might think I have this put together and I look on the outside like I know what I'm doing. Just talk to my PS coaches. I just got off a thing. Like I've been trying to wrap my brain about how I, as a leader, can change and fail forward, because I failed. I failed my team, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do. So I love that. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right. If you are not muted, then just make sure you mute so you don't get feed. So tonight we're going to talk about the resolution effect. And if you don't know what the resolution effect, because I had no idea when I first heard it what it was, think about New Year's resolutions. What comes January 1st? The first thing that pops in your head is what? Health and fitness, right? Who doesn't have the goal to lose that holiday weight that they just gained? Who doesn't recommit themselves to losing weight? And getting healthy and just living those lives. And your income will be astronomical come January compared to where it is now if you prepare for it. It will not happen automatically. It won't. If you are taking a step back, if you aren't showing up, if you're not doing these things, this is not going to happen for you. And I say this with love, and I say this, everyone else is cutting out bad. Can anyone else, am I cutting out for everyone else too? Okay, Breezy, just you. So yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna leave this chat box here so I can see if anything's mentioned. But this is what this business is about. And I will tell you, and I'll be the first to say this. Your next 3 months are rough. Your next 3 months are going to be the hardest months that you have to work. And I say that not to scare you, but to be honest and brutally honest with you. I cringe knowing that October is next month, October, November, and December. But I've hit Success Club the last 2 Octobers, Novembers, and Decembers. So don't tell me it's not possible because it's hard. You make that choice in your head to decide if you're going to hit Success Club October, November, and December. So realize that. And if I sound like I'm on the soapbox, I apologize. Like I said, I'm just super excited about this topic. I have learned so much about me and my business and what I need to do better. So I don't mean to be on a soapbox. I'm not yelling. If I sound like I'm yelling, I'm just super excited. So I want to show you what's possible. And I went back and forth about this because I didn't know if I wanted to show numbers. Because some of you guys are going to look at my numbers, and I'm going to show you my actual income from my first year. Now, remember, I started coaching in January, so the income you're going to see is 10 months in, okay? And I want you to see, for some of you guys, you're going to look at it and say, I'm 10 months in the business, and I suck. Others are going to look at this and say, I've done that. I've done the same thing. But you know what? Everyone grows at different rates. My income has dropped the last 2 months, 3 months, maybe 4 months. I have to look at it. But I could fail and throw my hands in the air, or I can be persistent. And so realize that. So don't let these numbers overwhelm you. Let them inspire you to what can happen. And you actually will get to see Breezy and Matt's here at the end of it too. And it was inspirational for me to see what their numbers were compared to where I've been and where I'm at compared to where they're at. So I'm going to show this, and like I said, it makes me super nervous and super vulnerable, but I'm just going to do, I don't usually talk numbers unless we are PS coaches or I'm explaining something to you. So we're going to dive into it. This is 2 years. Now, these are empty because I couldn't pull my SC numbers. I know I didn't hit Success Club 10 December 2014 or November or October, because at least consistently, because I would be a legend, SC10 legend, if I did. I'm at a point now I've got to hit SC10 the next 3 months to become an SC10 legend. For those of you who don't know, that just means you hit 24 months of Success Club 10. I am a legend for 5, so I know I've hit Success Club 5 these months. So here it is. And this is what is possible. And I want you guys to see this. So October of 2014, this is 10 months into my business, I made $652.49. It dropped in November to $606.33. And it went a little bit up because what's on people's mind? Health and fitness. So Christmas gets, I think, a little bit easier if you're working in the business. Right here. Come January, February, March. We look at December to March. It went from $672 to I had my very first $1,000 month, January 2015. It took me a year. Some go faster, some go slower. And my first $1,000 paycheck came January of 2015 for the month. It increased. I was shocked to $1,200 that next year, and then went to $1,371.67. Okay, so this is 104% increase. 104%. And we're going to talk about something here in a minute. So think about that. 104%. October 2015. So I'm going. I've gained the momentum, and by October of 2017, I'm at now a $2,000 paycheck. Okay. Now that's not a lot to me. That is a lot, but I mean, from where I am now, I look back and think, oh, like I was super excited about that $2,000 a month. Who isn't going to be ecstatic over an extra $2,000 a month, right? And then it dropped in November. And again, I could have said, oh, life sucks. It's going to get hard. You know, they told me November is going to be hard. And I could have thrown up in the air. But you know what? It dropped even more in December to $1,480, 86. Can't complain. Another $1,400 for the holidays. I'm not going to whine and complain about it still, right? But look, come January, okay, I'm back up more than what my October was. Look at my February, and then look at my March. A 266% increase from 3-month difference, December of 2015 to March 2016. 3 months, okay? So this is what is possible. Some of you guys will have higher numbers. Some of you guys won't. And I'm going to tell you why you won't. And I say this with love, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys. And so this comes from my heart, and so I hope you take it that way. But we are going to talk right now about what it means to be an employee versus an entrepreneur. You are not an employee. You are not. If you're an employee, you are a discount coach. You are hanging in there, and if someone wants to purchase from you, wonderful, that's great. You are an entrepreneur, and you've got to think like an entrepreneur. And we're going to talk about the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur. And I was listening to a phone call with Brigida Linford, who is our upline, and she was talking about this, and I loved it, okay? An employee expects a pay raise without increasing production. How many of us have heard, or we've been in these shoes where we say, I show up every day. I work 40 hours a week. Sometimes I even work 50. And I deserve a raise. I deserve a raise. I don't know what side you stand, but look at the McDonald's. They made $15 an hour, whatever it was in California, because of not making enough money. Okay, what do? They replace them. They replace them with automated machines that you don't have to, go to an employee to order. You skip the employee and you can go to a board now and place your order. And they want it. An entrepreneur knows what's possible, and they work hard to make sure it happens. They work hard. I'm not saying an employee doesn't work hard, because I've been an employee and I've worked extremely hard. But yeah, we'll get there. An employee clocks in and they clock out. Okay. They work an 8 to 5 shift. They work a 10 to whatever shift, they clock in, and when they go home, they're done. An entrepreneur has a no matter what list. It doesn't matter that I just had a baby. It doesn't matter that I don't feel good today. It doesn't matter. My challengers don't know I'm sick because I don't let them know I'm sick. I show up and I post. I make sure I'm prepared that daily post still posts in that challenge app. They don't know I'm sick. I had a baby. Some of you guys know, my kid, in May of 2015, I had a baby, and everything was great. My business took off during that time, but behind the scenes, I bawled. I had baby blues. People didn't know about that. I was going crazy. I was sleep deprived. There was nights I never went to bed because my son never went to bed because he had acid reflux so bad. No one knew. Friends did, but that was it. My challengers didn't know because I didn't sit there and make that as an excuse. I am an entrepreneur. And so realize that as well. Yes. So employees complain. Okay. How many of us had a job? I was a teacher. Before that, I was the professional sandwich maker at Hoagie Yogi. And I would sit there and whine and complain when the customer came in 5 minutes before close. Or I'd whine and complain about not making enough money. Or I'd whine and complain that so-and-so wasn't very nice at work. I would whine and complain. Like, we do that. That's what an employee does. An entrepreneur does not. Yes, they have hard times, but they think about it and they solve the problem. And they take action. Make sure you're muted. Unless you were supposed to be unmuted. I just caught the end of it if you were. So, you don't see. Breezy, can you manage the participants? Okay, maybe that's better. Okay. So, yeah. I was going to say, you don't see top coaches who are performing whining in the tribe page that so-and-so said no, or everyone saying no. Yes, we have bad days. And yes, some of my coaches hear about those bad days because we have a friendship and we get it. But we look at the problem and we solve it. We say, they're saying no because I am doing this to my business. So-and-so didn't react well because of this. Or we brush it off because we're an entrepreneur. We take ownership of our business. Carl Zeichler, for those who went to summer, sat there and talked to us. He says, as a CEO, when a bag comes open to you, I take responsibility. When a CEO, when you have a good experience with coach relations, I take responsibility for that. That's what we do as entrepreneurs. We take that action to make sure that everything goes and everything works out. An employee does a bare minimum. They see a piece of trash as they're walking by and they don't pick it up because that's someone else's job. I was already the janitor. I was already at the level 1 entry and now I'm a level 2 at the restaurant and I don't have to pick up trash, right? I'm above that. An entrepreneur takes responsibility. He leans over and picks up the trash when he walks by. He leads their team with love. He has what it takes. She has what it takes. They add value. They add freemiums. They are adding value to people's lives every single day. An employee shrugs when there's a problem. Oh, I'm clocking off. I'll get to it tomorrow. And an employee or an entrepreneur doesn't. They don't shrug it off. They go full force with it. And so what's the difference? An employee, when you go and get a raise, what's the typical raise? I asked my husband this at his work. Okay. I don't know exactly what everyone makes at his work, but let's say they make $10 an hour. Okay. That's a decent paying job in most places, right? $10 an hour. If they get a raise at his business, it's usually anywhere between 40 and 60 cents. Okay. Nothing compared to this, right? Nothing compared to 104% in 3 months. Nothing as a 266% in 3 months. Okay. They get a 40-cent raise. And I'm going to show you this. This blew my mind. Okay. True story, and it's actually gone up since I've taught. This is the district that I worked for. I was a teacher, first grade teacher. A starting teacher made $32,700. Teachers are well underpaid, right? $32,700 is what I made in the state of Idaho. My first year. Now look at this amazing increase, okay? You go up to $33,030. You get a 1% increase the next year, a 1% increase. You go 16 years and you get a 72% increase. Not 104 in 3 months, 16 years, you got a 72% increase, okay? Look at the difference between a bachelor's and a master's at 16 years. 55,862 compared to 56,562. You make an extra $1,000 for spending how much in debt to go to school. I went to school, I have a bachelor's degree, and I am in, tens of thousands of dollars debt later, and luckily it's gone. I actually graduated debt free, but I actually had to pay that in school, right? But I paid into that. You guys as an entrepreneur paid $39.95 for this. $39.95. And if you bought a challenge pack, you paid $0 to become a coach. Literally, if you spent $10,000 like I did when I went to school, you better believe that I showed up every single day, so I got a paycheck, right? If you were to spend $10,000 starting your Beachbody business, would you look at it differently? If you made the investment to be an entrepreneur, would you look at this business differently? So think about that. I love Shark Tank. I don't know if you guys have seen Shark Tank, but I love it. And it's always interesting to me when you see ideas and they're like, so how much money have you put into this? And you cringe when they say like $500,000 and it's a total fail. This is a business that we know isn't going to fail. They've been around since the 90s and they have only gone this direction in their numbers. So realize that. Look at what is possible. So I'm going to line you up. Hey, Mark. You grab my cord. Sorry, my computer's so let's talk what you have to do. Okay, what do you have to do to make sure that you get this increase? What is it? What is it exactly that you need to do? So you reap what you sow. I am by no means a farmer. Grew up in California, but we've done gardens, and I'm starting to understand a little bit more about this stuff. So once a seed is planted, it takes an average of 75 to 90 days to mature. Okay, so when the seed of corn or whatever goes in the ground, it's going to take about 75 to 90 days to be able to eat that corn. Okay, and your business is the same way. When you are planting your seeds, when you are posting your results, when you are posting about your life, you are planting seeds. That's exactly what you're doing. Why do you think they put Christmas stuff out in October? Okay, I was laughing when I saw someone post the other day. One of my friends on Facebook literally took a picture for Walmart and she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And the pumpkins were on this side and the trees were on this side. And I laughed because 2 days before that, I bought 5 Christmas signs to go on my house for Christmas. So you're going to have early birds like me who are ready to go. But they know that if they put the stuff in front of you for your eyes to see, for you to walk by, how many of you guys just love to walk through? We always did this when we were super poor. At Christmas time, we just walk the Christmas aisles dreaming we could have a Christmas tree or whatever it might be, And that's what we did. And they put those to plant the seeds because come November, whatever day after Thanksgiving, when you are illegally allowed to decorate for Christmas by the standards of the world, okay, who are you going to remember had that cute sign? Who are you going to remember had that perfect tree that would look amazing in your front room? Who are you going to think about? You're going to think of the store that you saw it at. And it's the same thing with your business. As you plant your seeds over the next 3 months, people are watching. People are saying, "Oh, Ashley had results with TurboFire. I remember seeing those results. I remember her saying she's a coach. I remember that. So you're top of their mind, not someone who posted 6 months ago about their transformation, not someone who is hit and miss about their transformation, not someone who shows up every couple days and posts every couple days. They're going to think of the person who's been consistent, who they know come January 1st will help them reach their health and fitness goals. And so realize that you can't plant 10 seeds and expect those 10 seeds to get you to diamond. It won't happen. Those 10 seeds will fail. They will get eaten by the bugs, right? Like you cannot put 10 seeds in the ground and expect an amazing crop. You might get lucky, but come next year, you're not going to be lucky. Come the next month, you're not going to be lucky. You can't invite 10 people and expect to hit Success Club 10. It's not going to happen. And so realize that. I hear this all the time. So many people are falling through. So many people who are committed now are saying no. Hello, it happens to me every single month. But I talk to so many people that it ends up working out. It ends up who fall through end up, I have other people who fulfill my challenges. So realize success is not for a select few. If it was, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I am not the lucky person. I am not someone who set out to be an MLM like marketer. I am a teacher. I did not dream of this. If it was for a select few, it wouldn't be me. I don't get lucky in things. I've never won like a thing in my life. It is not. Success doesn't mean money. It doesn't mean that you make $5,000. Success is being tagged in a post from a challenger that says, thanks for changing my life. Success is seeing a transformation of a success story that you created for someone. Success comes showing up and doing your vitals every single day so that you can help people live healthy lives. That's what success is. We'll talk about that. Success comes the income will come from the number of lives that you change. It's as simple as that. So you have to be able to do that. So how does this work? We're going to go over the things you have to have. You have to have enthusiasm. And I'm not talking about the enthusiasm that you're over the top, happy, bubbly. That is not me either. So I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about your divine gifts that you were given to excel, to change lives, to help other people. You guys have way different talents than I do. I see some of your posts and I think if I only knew like how to navigate my dumb app, how to even put a blur on there or whatever it is. Some of you guys are amazing at that. Some of you guys have the biggest hearts and I wish I had that. Some of you guys you guys have so many things and you've got to have the enthusiasm. I don't care, and no one cares. Your person following you doesn't care that P90X3 has a day of just push-ups and just pull-ups. No one cares. They want to know that it was hard for you. They want to know that you too struggle with getting up to work out. They want to know what's in your heart. What made you decide to get up and do that? Your posts don't need to tell facts. They need to have excitement. They need to come from your heart. They need to say that I did it. I got up and pushed play today when I didn't sleep last night. I got up and because I didn't work out, I had to work out at nap time and I had to miss my Grey's Anatomy instead. They need to know that. They need to see that. You've got to lead your team with enthusiasm. You've got to realize that they too can reach their dreams. Where does this enthusiasm come? It comes from your why. And I'll tell you right now, when I fail, when things are hard in this business, these two things pop into my head immediately. I never want to go back to this girl. I never want to go back to a girl that didn't want to get out of bed. I never want to go back to a girl that had to force myself to laugh because I was so miserable from the inside. I never want to be that person. I don't want to feel alone. Having a tribe, I am never alone. If I ever experience another miscarriage, I know I have people on this team who relate to my story. This is my why right here. I don't want to be that person ever again. And so I look at that and I think, this is why I show up. This is why when I fail and I fell flat on my face, I get back up and I do it because I don't want to see this girl in the mirror again. Not even the appearance of this girl. I mean, it happens. I've had a baby in between. This appearance came back, but I don't want to feel the way I felt in that skin ever again. I see this picture of a school classroom and I love teaching, but I never want to have to enter a classroom because I have to go to work. If my kids are grown and I decide I want to go back to a classroom, great. But I never want to have to drop my kids off like I had to do to go to school and teach other kids again. I want to be able to teach my kids at home. I want that to be my why. And that's what reminds me why when I talk to coach relations and I'm frustrated, or I don't, have coaches in Success Club, or, I didn't do this or that. That's why I get back up. I don't want to go back to this classroom. I loved teaching and I miss it all the time, but I miss my kids way more. And people have got to realize that dreams do come true. We live in this world. We live in this debate world. The debate was this week where we are not living and we don't think the American dream exists. And people need to realize it does exist. It's right in front of you. And so realize that. Persistence. This takes persistence. This business takes persistence. I see these 3 pictures. I see here a little boy who never scored a goal his first game, who's literally a head and a half smaller than everyone else on the field because he's little. But he scored 3 goals this season. He didn't give up the first season he didn't play. He got back up and he did it again. And he did it over and over again. I see this picture of a boy who can read, who, a year and a half ago didn't know his letters, he's in speech. He couldn't hear because he had a polyp in his ear, and he's reading now. That's persistence. I see a boy who has learned to walk, who failed multiple times getting up, but he did it over and over and over again. He learned to walk because he fell down so many times that he finally mastered it. And that's what this business is about. Kids are so resilient, and somewhere along the way, we lose that resilience in us. You go to the store, and what's the first thing they want when you're in the checkout line? They want the candy bar. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them no, how many months you've told them no in a row, how many years, they still ask for that dumb toy at the very bottom that you never even recognized was down there because that's what they look at the whole time you're putting it on the belt. They're resilient. They are persistent. They never give up. Same thing with entrepreneurship. You don't give up because you hit Success Club 5. I did that my first year. I laid off, and I regret it every day that I'm so close to hitting Success Club 10 for 2 years straight because I let off the gas. I don't let off the gas when I hit 10. That's why I see Success Club 14 this month. That's why you see numbers when we talk about, our income. I didn't even mention this. I went from Success Club 15, 11, 10. Then I went from 15 to 18 to 27 Success Club points. That's not luck. That is being resilient. That is having persistence and just pushing through those hard days. So, don't mind my nose. Yes, the other thing, the next part is this business takes love. You look at your family, you look at your parents, you look at whatever love that you think of, and what wouldn't you do for them, right? That's what this business is. What won't you do for your customer that they know that they can achieve these results? And there is no one else who can have the influence that you can. You are going to find people that I will never find because I'm not you. And I don't have your gifts. I don't have your talent. I don't have that market because I don't understand what they're going through. And that is okay. You are a better coach for that person because no one else who, like, no one else will influence that person the way that you will. And it comes down to, what do you have to offer? What is different about you? What makes you so different from me, from Breezy, from Lindsay, from Cher, everyone on this call? You are so different. And that is what is amazing about it. You know, you guys all know I built my network mainly through free groups. And people are like, I hate running free groups. I do too. They take so much work. They take so much time. They take so much energy. But you know what? Those girls who come out of those are my girls that I fall in love with every single day because they're on my team. Those are the girls that I talk to every single day because I put forth my time, my heart, and my energy into this business, because I had enthusiasm, because I was persistent, and because I did it. I showed up. So a couple things. What do you have to do over the next 3 months? Okay, you've got to share your story. You've got to share who you are. Like I said, this is literally a day's post. I mean, I had other ones, but I picked 3. This is today. This one wasn't, I think this was yesterday or something, day 5, so a couple days ago. Okay, I didn't share the facts. You know, I said that there's times I wanted to quit. There was times the weight seemed so heavy, but I kept going. Never doubt what you can do. Doubt your limits. And, you know, I didn't say that I did P90X3 and I did 5 push-ups to every 10 sit-ups, or, you know, whatever it is. I told them what I did from my heart and how hard that workout was. Again, my story. This was me today going to pick up the rental car, looking amazing because I literally stunk. I literally had eyeliner from last night on my face. I had everything, but it was my life. Okay, raw as it is. That's my story. This was me today telling me that my son asked me if I lived in the same time as Jesus did when I was a child. Okay, I finally got asked that. Are you that old, Mom? Okay, that's my story. That's my life, and I wouldn't change it. Okay, I wouldn't change it one bit. But you've got to share your story. You've got to have people to find you and relate to you for this to work over the next 3 months, to have that resolution effect. And you've got to, now, your transformation, this is going to be a touchy subject with some of you because you're all at different levels. Some of you guys are pregnant. Some of you guys have had 5 pounds to lose. Some of you guys had 0 pounds to lose, but weight to gain, okay? But do you know how many people I have interested right now in Turbo Fire? Because I started with day 1 and went 12 full weeks of it and never skipped a day. So many people are asking me what this Turbo Fire is because I had results and I stuck with the program for the full program, the full 12 weeks. I was guilty of bouncing around and I gained weight and I was not at my top fitness level, and I'm still getting back to my fitness level that I wish I was at because I skipped around and I didn't stick to a schedule. These programs are just like a personal trainer. They are designed to give you results because you follow the schedule. So commit to a program right now. If you're not in the middle of a program, you commit by Monday to a program that you're going to complete start to finish. Commit and share. It doesn't matter if it's a 30-day program, a 60-day program, a 90-day program, but you've got to share. Your transformation has to be all over. And I'm not talking about a side-by-side. Okay, all of these are transformation stories that I've posted, and I have one side-by-side on the sports bra look, right? And that was my turbo week at 8 weeks. Okay, here is a pregnant. Some of you guys are pregnant on the tribe. Here's my first pregnancy at 22 weeks. Here I am at a healthy pregnancy at 22 weeks. That was a transformation that I shared, okay? And a non-scale victory. I had gestational diabetes with my first one, not with my second after I started Beachbody. I had swollen feet with my first one. I had rings that I couldn't wear half my pregnancy because they didn't fit because I was swollen so much. That is a transformation. This is me. This is my start date, and this is where I am now. This was me just the other day saying, like, I can't believe I don't want to go back to this person. Here's a picture, a transfer I did with me and Breezy. You can see in our eyes how miserable, how awful. We had no kids. We were going through miscarriages like crazy here. And here we are at Super Saturday, okay? You wouldn't even know Breezy's pregnant, almost ready to pop in this picture. You know, that is the difference. That is the transformation. You don't have to be, you post a challenger, you and your friend, your best friend now that you've met through a challenge group. Post that transformation. Here's me in a pair of jeans I wasn't able to fit in for over a year and a half after I had my baby, and here I am fitting in my size 7 jeans after wearing a size 10, 12 after I had the baby. So that is what I'm talking about. Post your mental. If you are someone who, doesn't have weight to lose, this mental is huge. That's what I talk about. I don't want to go back to this girl. That's all mental. My whole transformation has been primarily mental, and the outside appearance has come. And, the outside, the pant size has come. But it was me changing from the inside out. And so realize that as well. You've got to do that. You've got to take action. You've got to create a marketing plan. You're an entrepreneur, not an employee. Here are some of my ideas that I'm going to be doing over the next 3 months. Copy them. I don't care. We're here. We're a team. 20 days closer to Christ. I always do this. The last 2 years I've done a closer to Christ. For those of you who are LDS or Christian, you can do an Advent calendar. That's what I did. There's a book called 21 Days Closer to Christ, and I literally took that book and I created a 21-day fixed group. We have the document. I believe it's in the files tab. It's there for your taking. This is more geared towards LDS. So if you're not LDS, I don't know if I'd use that particular one, but you can do an Advent calendar where you do 25 days of service leading up to Christmas. Hottie over the holidays, refresh after Thanksgiving. Guys, the refresh is on sale. I just put it here. Take advantage of it. It's short. It's attainable. People can do 3 days over the holidays. Take advantage of it being on sale another month. Money for Christmas. I have decided I'm going to do a Christmas pot. Put money in. You're guaranteed. If you are, you commit and you complete your results. If you show up every single day and you are in there, you'll get a part of that pool of money that everyone's put in. So you're guaranteed your money back if you just participate. So if people don't participate, you're going to end up with more than just your money back. So I'm going to do that as well. Eat your way through the holidays. I'm going to be doing just tips about eating and how to put food on your plate and start with salads at Thanksgiving instead of dessert or little things like that. I'm also going to do a free group, comfort food for the holiday, a crock pot. So different healthy meals that you can throw in a crock pot over these cold days where we're so tempted to have cheesy bacon potato soup, right? So create a marketing plan. What are you going to do to make sure you hit Success Club? Again, the 3-day refresh. I mentioned Core de Force at the very beginning, okay? You take advantage that it's only available through a coach that first month. Black Friday, Beachbody usually has a huge sale Black Friday with certain programs. I would stick with the challenge packs and nonchalantly post about the packs or the individual programs on sale. But maybe throw in an extra $10, $20 gift card if they purchase the challenge pack Black Friday. Plan ahead. This is going to happen. If you want to create a group with other MLMs, if a makeup company, a dish company, I can't think of Pampered Chef, all these different companies, you can combine forces and create an online virtual shopping experience. Don't get other, weight loss programs in there. That would not be a good marketing plan. But you've got to think about it. You've got to be prepared for what's to come. So that's about all my tips. I'm sure I have notes. I started with my notes and now I'm just all over the place. But I am going to let Matt, Breezy, whoever wants to jump on, talk, because I want you guys to see that I'm not lying. This wasn't coincidence just for me. This happened to Breezy as well. And it will happen to you if you put these tools to use. And so I'm going to let Matt just go over, and here's your slide, and you can just talk about your resolution effect with your guys' business.
All right. Can everybody hear me? Yeah? Okay. That was awesome, Ashley. I don't know that really anything else needs to be said, but just, as we kind of looked over our numbers and have looked at the numbers as we've gone forward in our business, it's totally there. There's totally an effect when the first of the year, people are trying to get into shape, get healthier and everything else. These are our numbers right here. And, we kind of figured that from January to about April, our income over the last couple of years has doubled. This was the first, so top left is 2013, the last half of 2013. Then right underneath that is the first half of 2014. Top right is the last half of 2014. And bottom underneath that is the first half of 2015. So you can see there that, the numbers are there. And I don't think that the numbers are really the important thing. Ours is doubled. As we've talked to other coaches, like I've talked to Jason Linford and Brigida and Scotty Hobbs, and theirs has either doubled or tripled a lot of times, is what they kind of have figured out, that theirs will triple between January and April, which that's unreal. But a couple of things with that, like it's exciting to look at numbers, and it's exciting to kind of say, ooh, maybe my income would double, maybe it would triple. But like, seriously, that's Brigida Linford that's making that kind of, thing happen. That is, Scotty Hobbs, Breezy, Ashley, they're intense working their business every day. And, so that's just kind of a little bit about what's possible for you if you want to get there and you want to hit that. So I've been thinking about a few things, and I want to just go through them a little bit on how to get there, kind of like Ashley did. And like I said, Ashley already kind of, hit the nail right on top of the head with what she said. And so, this is, kind of going over it again, but I wanted just a few things that I've been thinking about lately. And for myself, because yes, sure, I've been a coach for 3 years, but I really feel like I'm a brand new coach because I've been, off and on and in and out and stuff like that, and kind of taking care of more of the technical side of our business while I was working full time and that kind of thing. And so this year, and especially the last few months, I've been able to really dive in and really start, the process of inviting and building my network more, and really focus on, doing the behaviors that a coach would do. So really, I feel like, Breezy's obviously a way experienced coach, and Ashley and stuff. And so I feel like a lot of the things that I'm going through and figuring out are really what a new coach is going through, because I feel like I've only really been coaching for a few months, even though I've really, kind of been involved in it for a few years. But so to plant those seeds like Ashley was talking about, and to set yourself up for success over the next 3 months. I think the next 3 months really, there's a huge opportunity there. I have a lot of people that tell me that they can't afford it right now, or they don't have time. And so what a perfect opportunity to go back to those people that really want this and really want to make the lifestyle change and say, hey, Christmas is coming up. If you really want to get in on this, why don't you get it for Christmas? Me and Breezy actually did that. We bought each other challenge packs for Christmas so that we could get going on it. Or, another thing is, after Halloween or after Thanksgiving, people, wake up Monday morning, like after a big weekend or whatever, the Super Bowl weekend, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like crap. I need to get back into shape and need to get going on those goals that I wanted to get to. So, yes, it's kind of a tough time because we've got family and everything else going there. But for the coaches that really dial in and focus for the next 3 months, it's going to pay huge dividends come the first quarter of next year. And you're even going to be able to make some pretty good headway here the last quarter. And what better time to build your credibility as a coach that you're using these programs and these nutrition plans than during the holidays? I mean, you want to show somebody that you're serious about it, then stick to 21 Day Fix over Thanksgiving or through Christmas, and be real about it. Say, you know what? I messed up yesterday. I had a piece of pie or whatever it was. Be totally real about it and say, you know what? I'm sticking to it 80% of the time. And I know that 20% of the time it's just not going to happen for me, but I'm trying as hard as I can. And these are the results that I'm seeing. So, there's really some opportunities that we can use and not just unplug and let the end of the year, get by us. So anyway, and that's going to, seriously, come the first quarter next year, that's going to be huge. So a few things that I've been talking about, and I made a live video on the Tribe page about this a little bit. So you can scroll down. It might have been today or yesterday. I can't keep the day straight. But, if you go in there and watch it, then I did a little bit more about it. And that is focusing on people. A lot of times we get hung up in the products, and, really, we're not a product company. We're a people company. More than anything, if you have a limited amount of time to spend on trainings for your business, I'd just suggest you do a power hour or two a day with inviting and really working on your business. But when it comes to training, if you have a limited amount of time, dig into some of the Tribe trainings. It's tribecoachtraining.com. Is that right still? Or your Upline Star Diamond has a page. but dive into some invite training. Dive into something that's going to teach you how to go out and talk to people and how to invite people and how to have conversations with people. And also along with that, just go out and talk to people. Talk to them about their kids. Talk to them about their hobbies. Talk to them about the holidays coming up and the trips that they're going to take and everything else. When we look at the 4 vital behaviors, it's all about people, and it's all about adding value to people. When you talk about being proof of the product, what you're doing is you're showing somebody that you can do a hard program and so they can do it. It's all about them, and it's very little about you. With inviting, that's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to want to get people involved in what you're doing. Personal development is just making yourself better so that you can have better conversations and you can add that value to people. And then the 4th one, of course, is recognition. And, that one says it all. We're going to recognize people for the work that they're doing and the results that they're having. So it's all about people. And so the more people that you can talk to, the more people that you can affect on Facebook and Instagram and the things that you're doing, then that's what you're going for. You're a business and you're advertising. I listened to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk lately since Summit, and I wish Gary wouldn't drop the F-bomb so much, but Gary is Gary, and I love what he says because it's all about attention. He says, I'm a day trader with attention, and that's really the thing that we ought to be looking at is we really want eyes on us. And I know that that's kind of scary and everything else, but you want people to see what you're doing. You want to be able to inspire people. You want to be able to show people and add value to people and show them that they can do it too. That's the whole reason that we're Beachbody coaches. So, and with that too, one thing that hit me with Gary and stuff that I've been listening to is Facebook's not going anywhere. Instagram's not going anywhere. So, really, these are cheap ways to advertise. I went and got the mail today, and I got this big stack of mail like this. And, it's funny, all the companies that still send me mail, because I go like this and I sort it over into a pile, and I don't even open the envelopes. I rip them in half and I throw them in my garbage can because nobody's looking at that stuff. And these big companies, the credit card companies and stuff, haven't really caught on to that yet. They're still leadership and stuff that are still thinking that that's getting them somewhere, and it's not. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. I mean, if I have 3 spare minutes during the day, I'm like, just tuned into my phone, and it's crazy. It's insane. But this is where it's at. And right now you can go out, you can network with people, you can get involved in groups where people are, you can run Facebook ads for dirt cheap if you want, if you want to spend money on it. If you don't want to spend money on it, just go out and get in some groups and talk to people. Be involved in some groups. Go and comment, like on stuff. All it takes is energy. It takes no money at all, and it's dirt cheap. I don't think it's going to stay that way very often. And Gary Vaynerchuk is saying that too. Here within the next 24 months, there's going to be a big shift with that. Also a big thing is just doing the work. Personal development's good. Learning is good, and we need to have that. But I worry sometimes that we focus too much on learning and not enough on doing. And so that's really what it's going to take for the next 3 months, is just going out and doing it and really just connecting with people. It's just, people. That is all that it's about, is talking to people, getting eyes on you, and just really building your community that way. Also, look at what can you replace, don't watch The Bachelor. Don't watch, these things. You don't need to watch House of Cards. You don't need to watch football. Really, we tell our challengers that they just need to make time for exercise and prioritize it. And we tell them that they can cut out a little bit of sleep. And then we tell them that they can cut out a little bit of Netflix and fit their workouts in. And then as coaches, we, we fiddle-faddle with our business. We invite a little here. We're not really consistent. We're still watching Netflix. We're still watching football. We're still sleeping in. And yet we're expecting our challengers in their fitness journey to be doing something different than we're doing in our business. So look at what things are non-priorities to you and just cut them out. Just quit spending time there and, put it into your business. Breezy actually had a friend that was like, hey, you never play Words with Friends with me anymore. What the heck? And, we kind of got talking about that. And it's funny because playing Words with Friends, you're sitting in bed or you're sitting in a chair online with your friends and, and you're socializing and whatever, and it's fun. Well, you could be doing the same thing, socializing and inviting people to your challenge groups, get the same result, the same kind of social aspect of it, but be making a difference in their lives and be making a difference in the life of you and your family. Treat it as a game if that's something that you want to look at it as, because really that's all it is you're just, out there talking to people and everything else that you would be doing on Facebook or Words with Friends or any of these other things anyway. I think that's it. Sorry, I didn't mean to I kind of got on a rant there and got going down my list, but I don't know. I think it's cool what we have. And we talk about working hard in our business and, it is hard work. And I think it's more mentally draining than physical. But, when you really look at it, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard of a thing. It's not moving pipe. It's not teaching school and that kind of stuff. And really, when you get to the end of it and when you help somebody achieve those goals and get to where they want and change their family tree and set up habits that are going to continue for generations and help them to be healthy in their lives, it's really an incredible thing that we're part of and really awesome that we can sit on our phones, we can, take our kids to school and do this and treat it like, a game, I guess, but really, like a business and really make a substantial change in somebody's life. So anyway, that's all I had. Sorry, Ashley, I kind of got on a rant there.
You're good. Thanks. No, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Like, you've got to have enthusiasm and you've got to have the love. And that's exactly what he is saying. Last thing, Matt, maybe pop in my head. Also, part of that resolution fact, remember, is tax return season. That is huge too. So remember that January through, April, May, people are getting money back. So use that as your advantage. Last thing too, we say it's expensive. How many people will tell you they don't have the money, but there's literally saving for Disneyland? Okay, you spend over $100 a ticket to get into Disneyland. So if they can do that, they can find a way to save for a $140 challenge pack. So keep that in mind. Don't let it make an excuse, Disneyland is over $100 a person to get in. So if you're taking you and your family, we went in January and it's not cheap. Then you add the food and then all the toys you got to get in between because they have such great marketing skills there. So to wind up, guys, your income is going to be a direct reflection of the number of lives you change. You cannot just show up. You cannot just do the 4 vital behaviors. You've got to do more. You've got to have a plan. You've got to be an entrepreneur for this to work, for you to see that percentage in your income increase. So realize that do not be left at the starting line because you're not prepared. You will get left because if they don't think about you when they think health and fitness, you're not showing up, doing it every single day. If you're not the first person that pops into their head or one of the top 5 people, you're not showing up consistently enough. So realize that I always say I got started over the holidays. I started Breezy's Challenge Group October, and it was a 60-day, and I ended the end of November. I did it. I lost 20 inches over the holidays. And so, anyone can do it over the holidays. Explain that and be there with them. The last thing I forgot to mention, we say we have these problems. We say we don't have time. We're bad at time management. No, you're not. You had a day that you rocked it, right? We all have those days. You're like, man, today's one of those days. I've done everything today. I even got my kids fed and my kid to soccer practice or his soccer game. Like, okay, I did it. And, that's what it came down to. You didn't do it over and over and over again. Don't tell me you're not good at time management. You just decided not to do it over and over and over again. That's what it comes down to. So don't be left at the starting line. I accidentally got off because I wasn't on my own Facebook there. So just to end, guys, I love this. Every pro was once an amateur. Every expert was once a beginner. So dream big and start now. So I know it's super late, guys. I know we're over an hour. So if you have any questions, we'll go real fast. But if not, feel free to put it on the try page. Does anyone have a quick question for us? Okay. Tomorrow in the try page, look for an announcement. We're going to be talking about doing a little Coach Basics group. So look for that. I will probably go live with it tomorrow, explain what we will be doing with that group to just do it, to just go back to the basics and make sure that we're showing up every single day. So have a wonderful night, and we will see you guys show up. Let's do this. Let's finish amazing.